Hey everyone, my name is Heather Brothers, and I was born in Buffalo, New York. I currently live in Ottawa, Ontario, up in Canada, with my husband and our two kids. I did live in Lexington, South Carolina, for 5 years. From 2009 to 2014, I taught 3 years at Lexington Middle School and 2 years at the amazing MGM. Go Gators! I was very excited when Miss Britt asked me to make a video for you all about taking a stand. I hope you enjoy my presentation, and if you have any questions at the end, I have set up a remind group that I will give you the code for. I would love to hear from you. This is a picture of my little sister, Jocelyn. She was born November 24th, 1986. Her and I were 3 years apart. So here are some family photos. This is a picture of my mom and Jocelyn, and that's my dad and Josh. Down here is a picture of my husband and Josh and I. This is our eldest son, Nolan, and Josh. Jocelyn is Nolan's godmom. Down here is a picture of my brother, my sister, myself, and then Nolan. This is my brother's wife at their wedding. There's Jocelyn dancing. Again, my dad, Nolan, Jocelyn, Nolan. Jocelyn loved Nolan to pieces. My sister was born with Williams syndrome. It's similar to Down syndrome, and one of the conditions is heart issues. So when my sister was 2 years old, she had open heart surgery to fix her heart. And then as she grew older, her heart stopped working as well, and they needed to do another surgery. So in March of 2012, my sister had her second open heart surgery, and there she is. After surgery, it went well, and she was smiling like a trooper. When my sister came home from the hospital, she had asked my parents if she could get a puppy. And my mom and dad talked about it, and they thought it would be a great idea because it would be good exercise for her if she walked the dog to help strengthen her heart. So in August 2012, my sister got her puppy. And that is Sadie right there. Sadie was her baby. It was November 11th, 2012. And my aunt had called my mom up on the phone and asked my mom if my sister and her wanted to go for a walk with my aunt with the dog. And so my mom asked my sister, and my sister said, yeah, definitely. And so they decided to meet up at this place called the Amherst Bike Path. And part of the path goes behind the woods, and then there's another part that comes out near the road, which is a rural road. As they were walking, an elderly couple was coming near power walking by my aunt and my mom. My sister was up ahead at the front, and so my aunt said to my mom, let's let this elderly couple pass. And so my mom and my aunt stepped aside to let the elderly couple pass. As that happened, my mom went to look up to my sister to tell her to wait. As my mom yelled that to my sister, my mom saw a motorcycle coming towards them. The motorcycle hit my sister first, and then it hit the elderly couple. At this time, my husband and I were driving back from Fayetteville from visiting friends, and it was a Sunday, and so we had just visited with friends for the weekend. We were heading back to Lexington in their van with our son Nolan, who's 2 at the time. And we're just driving, enjoying the drive back. It's a beautiful fall day, and just thinking about starting back to work the next day, on Monday. My phone started to ring, and it was my brother calling. As soon as I answered the phone, he said, Heather, you need to get to Buffalo right now. Jocelyn's dead. I remember screaming and then crying hysterically. My husband pulled over right away, and he started talking to my brother on the phone. We called his parents to help arrange flights for us, and at this time we still had about an hour and a half left to drive back to Lexington. So we quickly got back to Lexington. We packed our bags and we headed to the airport in Charlotte because there were no more flights out of Columbia. It was in the airport waiting for a flight to Buffalo that we found out the motorcyclist was drunk. And that hurt so much because it meant that it was no longer an accident. It's a choice. Drinking and driving is a choice. And it was like a punch to the stomach, a knife through my heart, because it wasn't an accident and it could have been prevented. It was Veterans Day, and this is the last post that my sister made on Facebook. I made a decision that day that I wanted my sister's death to not be the end of her, that I wanted to let her live on. I decided to take a stand against drunk driving, and in March of 2013, I joined MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, in Columbia, South Carolina. It was there that I started getting involved with Victim Impact Panel, where I would be able to tell my sister's story to DWI offenders. I continued speaking monthly up until May of 2014. That was my last time speaking in South Carolina. And we moved up to Canada in June of 2014 to be closer to family. My parents are in Buffalo still, and my husband's family is Canadian and in Ottawa. Since moving to Ottawa, I have found a variety of ways to continue taking a stand against drunk driving and to sharing my sister's story.
It is the season to celebrate and for police to crack down on impaired driving.
Ontario Provincial Police today kicked off the festive ride season. It means you'll see more roadside checks heading into the holidays, morning, noon, and night.
Here's CTV's Catherine Lee.
Heather Brothers holds her sister close. This would have been Jocelyn Elberson's 28th birthday.
My mother and aunt witnessed my sister fly 135 feet in the air over their heads to where she landed.
Struck by a drunk driver in Buffalo, New York, the man lost control of his motorbike, swerving onto a walking path, killing Elberson and an 81-year-old woman. A repeat drunk driver. It was his 7th offense.
It's hard to understand why people think that it's going to be okay and they don't think about others. They're just thinking of themselves.
Go ahead, it's good.
So OPP are getting drivers thinking.
The dinner ride program this morning, anything to drink at all?
Stopping people at roadside checks in hopes of keeping impaired drivers off the road this holiday season.
If you're out there, we'll find you. And the ramifications of that are severe.
And it seems people are starting to get the message. OPP say the incidents of impaired driving are actually declining. But they say still it's not good enough that one death over the holiday season on the roads due to an impaired driver is one too many.
Dinner ride program, anything to drink this morning?
Not yet, no.
Or leftovers from last night?
So these ride programs will be around the clock. Police say impaired drivers, people drunk or stoned, are on the roads morning, noon, and night.
We've had arrests at all hours through the day. Sometimes it's leftovers from the night before. Sometimes it's people that just drink all the time.
Brothers is now working with MADD Canada to set up a court-ordered program for impaired drivers, forcing them to hear from victims. She hopes it may just be enough to save a life.
This is my way to let my sister's life carry on by sharing her story and helping others not have to go through what we had to go through losing someone.
Catherine Latham, CTV News.
been 3 years now since David Smith swerved his motorcycle off of the road in the North Towns, running into 3 people. 2 of them were killed. Smith was drunk at the time, but now he could be out of jail within the next year. As 7 Eyewitness News reporter Rachel Elzevon tells us tonight, the family of one of his victims is now fighting to try and get the law changed.
3 years after her death, memories of Jocelyn Elberson are still alive.
Jocelyn was a lover of life, smile on her face, loved babies.
Elberson's church, the New Covenant Tabernacle in Tonawanda, renovated its nursery in her memory.
She's finally out. She's happy, always wanted to have a bakery of her own, and now she has.
Elberson's parents are determined their daughter won't have died in vain. 25-year-old Jocelyn Elberson and 81-year-old Sheila Pelton were killed by David Smith in 2012. Smith was driving drunk when his motorcycle went off the road. He had 6 previous DWI arrests and 3 convictions. He's serving a 4 to 12-year prison sentence. Elberson's father told us this on sentencing day.
New York State doesn't hand out the death sentences for this kind of crime. Something's going to change.
Was I upset? You bet. And I think that's what made us say, legislations, it got to be harsher penalties.
Jocelyn's law would increase the crime of vehicular manslaughter to aggravated vehicular homicide for anyone with 3 or more prior DWIs. The punishment would increase from a maximum of 15 years in prison to 25 years.
To make these people wake up, people have to start taking responsibility and learning from their actions. And if they're not going to do that, this is the consequences you're going to deal with.
The legislation has already passed the state Senate 3 times, but Jocelyn's law has not made it through the assembly because committee members feel current law is, quote, sufficient.
Just take and put themselves in our shoes. What if something happened to them or their family member? Wouldn't they want something available to a judge to put these people out there so they would send a strict message?
They're innocent. And they're gone. And the person who was drinking and driving is still around.
The Elbersons aren't the only ones pushing for this legislation to pass. Senator Gallivan released a statement saying, quote, "This is the 3rd consecutive year the Senate has passed this important legislation, and it's time for the Assembly to do the same." In Tonawanda, Rachel Elzevon, 7 Eyewitness News.
Some tips that I would have for you would be to first find something that you're passionate about. And once you have that, start small. If you can change one person, that's how a movement begins. Start within your school, reach out to your community, and then the sky's the limit from there. I hope that during this presentation, you were able to take away something that will help you begin to take your stand. If you have any questions for me about my sister's story or on taking a stand, I would be more than happy to answer your questions. I have created a Remind group for you to join, and you can send me messages that way, and I can get back to you as soon as possible. I hope you guys have an amazing year taking a stand.